Greetings, figure freaks. How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Doing another action figure review. Today we are doing Marvel Legends X-Force 2-pack, X-23 and WARPATH. Now what we have here on the box is three sides of the same picture. So, kudos to you, Hasbro, for keeping it efficient and cheap. We got... I guess what the real treat is inside of the box, right? So let's just take a look at that now. And we have big ol' WARPATH. I did not get the previous offering. He was crazy looking to me. The face looked like he was on roids. It was old. I think it was the dark days of Hasbro, just after they took over for Toy Biz. The arms were crazy, psycho, humongous. So this one, he's got big arms as well, but it just looks like he is a little more proportionate. I do have the X-Force blue and red costume for WARPATH. And then, of course, we got Laura X or X-23, and I had the previous offering, and I sold it because I knew this one was coming. Hopefully it's an upgrade. I still have the Wolverine version with the toe talons. Looks like this version does have that too. I wonder if they're permanent or if they're removable, retractable. I don't know. We got two pairs of hands for Mr. WARPATH, Mr. Proudstar, and then we got three pairs of hands for X-23. We got the claw hands, we got the open grip hands, and we got the fists. So, what else can we say about these guys? Oh, I gotta say that I really enjoyed reading the X-Force comic books. That was, I think it was Craig Kyle, Chris Yost, maybe some Delato. Clayton Crane was doing a lot of the artwork. Really good stuff, and I read that and got all the trade paperbacks, graphic novels. So, really good stuff. I'll kind of show you the comic books that I am speaking of. But let's open these guys up and see what WARPATH and X-23 is all about. All right, just a quick look at these guys still in the plastic molding. Also, we got the backer board from inside the box, and it looks like it's the same exact backer board that was inside the Maximum Series Hulk. But just a little bit of a closer look at WARPATH here. Big boy. We got the vibranium survival knives, I guess. I was going to say daggers, but they're not really daggers. And, of course, the big old swappable C-grip hands for the knives. He has the fists affixed to him. Then we got X-23 over here with the two swappable heads and three pairs of swappable hands. So making up for the lack of accessories for her with more hands and an extra head. You got the masked version, which I kind of prefer, with those red eyes, and since he's kind of got it, they kind of match up, but we'll see what works. Hopefully I got Archangel coming from Mr. Nerdzoic. So hopefully that guy shows up pretty soon. Haven't heard anything yet, trying to be patient, but he is another X-Force member that was hanging out with this group, and I am very eager to get that figure. I really liked reading this book, just to give you a little look here, but there is Archangel. And you got WARPATH and I think Wolfsbane down there. Oops, damn. Giving stuff away here. And then, of course, here is the graphic novel. And you got WARPATH, Wolverine, Domino, and X-23 along with Archangel on the cover. Pretty awesome stuff. And then we got the Necrosha storyline. And this was pretty good stuff. I loved it. It's basically some of the older X-Men that had died way back, come back to life. You got like Senyaka and Banshee comes back, and I think who is it? Warpath's brother, Thunderbird, comes back as a zombie mutant. So, good stuff. I recommend picking up all those books, or you can grab like a, what do you call it? A complete collection that you can get all that whole run. I would highly recommend it. So let's bust these guys out and check them out outside of their molding. We got our two subjects out of their molding and out of the box. And yeah, I got some issues, but they're both pretty decent figures. There's some gripes, though, to be spoken of. Well, we'll go to Warpath first. He's pretty wicked, but unfortunately, he is all pinned up. And it wouldn't bother me so much. Like, this isn't that big of a deal. It's kind of like the Hyperion arms. At least the pegs match the arms, which is the skin color. But down here, you got black kind of coming through. Now, it is kind of shadowy, but it is a darker gray in there. That's what the pin color is. And that coming up on the gray, it seems like we should be about past this, but it is what it is. And this is a very large improvement to what we had before, that's for sure. The articulation's okay. He's a little loosey-goosey in some places. Obviously, there are pins in the knees, but look at this knee. No, Daddy don't like that at all, so I'm gonna have to put some gunk in there. But other than that, the paint is well done. I like these gloves with the gauntlets here. Of course, I think they pop off when you pull the hands off. Yes, as will X-23's. She has some bracelets as well that pull off. Love this design. Pretty nice head sculpt here. It's the only one we got, but if you feel like it, you can always swap it, I guess, with the whatever the Cable X-Force Warpath, the blue and red. Basically, he's wearing Thunderbird, his brother's gear. Belt is loose, but pretty tight. Very nicely sculpted belt. I love the little utility pouches, very Batman-ish. And then the best part, the creme de la creme of this figure, is the sheaths in the back, where he can reach back there and just be like, kind of reminds me of the Days of Future Past movie, because I think Warpath does that. I think he pulls out one of those from the back, and he's about to throw down with that Sentinel. So pretty cool. Articulation is pretty much what you'd think it is. The only thing is he's got the swivel on the torso, the diaphragm swivel, along with stomach crunch, double knees and elbows all pinned. Doesn't look up much, can look down a lot. It's just a ball joint, yeah, and I'm sure you could kind of chisel in here and make that range a little bit better. Other than that, I mean, the sculpt is nice. It's just kind of the pins and then the loosey-goosey, but that's just engineering, It's a nice figure, and I do like the bigger guys getting the diaphragm swivel now. Someday, I hope it will be nice if we get stomach crunch, diaphragm swivel, as well as the swivel at the waist. And we don't have that with this. We got the cuts at the thighs, boot cut, and I like these boots. These boots look wicked. They look all leathery. And then this is a little on the loosey-goosey side too. You know, it seemed like we're getting a lot of ankles that were kind of ratchety, which will work in holding the position, but this is not ratchety at all. It's just loosey-goosey. There's a little bit of a click in there, but it's just not, I don't know, it doesn't lock in any position, but it's not too hard to get him to stand up. So, unless I knock him down. He comes with a pair of fists and a pair of C-grip hands, basically hands to hold the survival knives. That's what you got right there. Then let's move along to X-23. Swappable head. This is the one with the red eyes. Screaming bloody murder. Hair looks pretty nice. I mean, we can check out the hair on this guy too, but it's, you know, not too bad. Back to Laura. Yeah, some issues with this, but it's paint. Look at this. Boo. Couple little nicks down there. Then we got that up there. So we'll see. We'll try to hit it with some rubbing alcohol and see what happens. Other than that, not a bad figure. The talons do pop out, as do the claws. But these are very small. I would recommend, well, I might glue these in, but they're not really going anywhere. If you do, though, just make a little pool of super glue on like a paper towel, newspaper or something, and just dip these tips in there like ever so gently, and then pop it in there. When you do, make sure you grab it right here to push it in, because these things are thin. You push it back here and it'll just go pop and just fold. It'll just taco on you. So, yeah, just be careful if you're into the gluing thing. I just like sniffing it, as you can probably tell. Loose belt. Does the splits like that. She is all pinless, which is great. Little arms here, but the double elbow pinless. Pretty nice. You got the torso swivel as well. Very little, tiny little body kind of. So she's still pretty small. Thigh cut, double jointed knee. Boot cut, of course, and then you got the tilt and swivel on the ankle. And she comes with the 2 open hands, the 2 fists, and then, of course, the 2 clawed unsheathed hands. Just a close-up of one of each of the fist and the open hand. So, I don't know. Might try just doing 1 fist, but you got to have at least 1 claw hand every time you got a Wolverine. I mean, maybe like Patch doesn't have his claws out, but I think it would be cool if he's in like a James Bond pose, you know, in his white tux, holding one of his claws out. Maybe he's got like a olive on it or something. Here's the alt face for X-23. Kind of looks older, at least on the frontal. Looks pretty angry though. About to rage. So, not bad though. Should have went for younger though. So yeah, articulation with her is pretty decent. You know, just a small problem with the paint. Of course, it's a big improvement from the previous, but she does feel a little bit flimsy, you know. If you're going to move those shoulders, make sure you grip up. Same with, like, you know, how I was talking about grip up on those blades. You got to be careful here because I've had it happen before. And these it does feel like a softer, like almost gummier plastic. I mean, I've had arms just pop off, especially in the females, just pop off right here. And you can usually just pop them right back on, but it's still fucking annoying. So just be careful with these skinny minis. But yeah, if I were to rate these guys, I mean, not perfect. Let's look at the knives of Warpath here. Just one of them. The vibranium knife. Pretty cool. Got the serrated little side over here and then the full blade on this side. Nice little handle there with the knuckle guard. Pretty cool. And then look back here. That's open wide. The other knife is just sitting in there. And you just pop this one in. It slides in right blade to blade. I like that. I like that a lot. So that's pretty cool. Just the pins are kind of the issue. A little loosey-goosey. It's not a perfect figure, but I'm happy to have this. I like the character that much. And, you know, I was reading X-Force way back in the day with Cable and Caliban and Siren and whatnot. So this version is awesome. It's a long time coming. I'm sure it's been at least 12 years since the original one of these came out. Maybe even longer. I don't know. So for him, I'm going to give a 7. A 7. He's getting a 7. And I think she's getting a 7 too. You know, just kind of run-of-the-mill. Decent, not perfect. Good enough, though. Her sculpt is okay, I would say. Like the boots. You know, the paint scuffs are just kind of annoying. I can get them out of there, though. Hair is nice. I like that. The alt head is pretty cool. Doubt I'll use it, though. And then, of course, removable. These things go in deep, too. So, that's cool. I'm not worrying about any of this stuff falling out, even with the hand claws. She's getting a 7, too, though. So, both of these getting a 7. I think that's fair. Just little beefs, and it's just problems with, like, the paint, quality control, little looseness, but that shit happens, and it's fixable. So, yeah, let's just move right along, and let's do some comparisons. But first, I'm going to get these guys in some cool poses. All right, first up, we got other versions of X-23 as well as Warpath. Over here, we got Laura in her Wolverine getup. Kind of sloppy paint down here. Look at that. Just totally different colors of yellowish orange down there. And then when it hits below the thigh, it gets real sloppy looking. I don't like it. The blue's kind of bleeding through. And then, of course, I got the little talons taken out of there. They're in a baggie somewhere. Pretty much the same claws. Kind of a cool head sculpt with the hair waving out there behind the Wolverine mask. Pretty neat. And, you know, about the same size. I think the new X-Force version is a tad taller. And then over here for Warpath, we're getting some reuse here. The legs are reuse. as are the arms. The body is new, the head is different. Obviously, the boots and shoes are much different. You kind of got the duck bill style over here, and you got the big bulky boots here. And then, yeah, I gave this, gosh, who was it? I think it was not Crossbones. It was Nuke. Nuke had 2 of these, and I gave one to this Warpath, so. Now we got 2 other versions of each figure. We do have Thunderbird, which this is Warpath's older brother. He was the one recruited to the Uncanny X-Men in Giant Size X-Men #1. I gave him some, I think, Red Ninja little battle axes or hatchets, whatever you want to call them. Handed those over to old Thunderbird here. And then, of course, we got the latest X-Force Wolverine. He does have the red eyes. He's got these giant claws that I don't think are removable, but they might be. But yeah, same kind of gray and black coloring there for that X-Force suit. Looking good next to X-23. And here we got a bunch of the X-Force crew. I still have Phantom X as well as Deadpool back up on the shelf, but I just brought these guys down because I'm bringing a lot of figures this time around for comparisons. We got the 3-pack with Nimrod, Psylocke. We got the older Domino. I feel like we really do need an update on her. An X-Force style one, you know, all in the black leather. Wolverine is back, and then of course we got the new Nemesis wave Nightcrawler, who joins up after he gets thrusted from the Age of Apocalypse. He is a more brutal, dark Nightcrawler, so he joins up with the dark, brutal group of X-Force. Still waiting on that Archangel. Can't wait to get him. So yeah, let's go on to the next one. I gotta say, when I do have a Warpath, for some reason I always have to measure them up to guess who. And it's Colossus. Yeah, for some reason, you know, I always thought Thunderbird was almost like comparable to Warpath and how he sizes up against Colossus. Whoa. Oops. Maximum Hulk just took a header off the table. So when Warpath came along, I was like, is he almost as big as Colossus? And the answer, according to these figures, is yes. Maybe even bulkier and wider. I really think we need a newer, taller, maybe just a little more bulkier, like bigger arms, because I mean, let's look at these arms here. Oh my gosh, it's just falling off everywhere. Damn you, Hulk. Let's compare the arms here, shall we? Yeah, Colossus got him, just bulkier, but it's not that far away, you know. But I always kind of thought Warpath, when he got in the game, I was like, oh, that's the next powerhouse. And he kind of is, but he's gifted with other stuff. He can actually fly, which I didn't know about. He's got super speed. Of course, he's kind of got the tracking abilities, just like his cohorts, Wolverine and X-23. Sorry, he keeps wobbling and wanting to fall over, but pretty close here. I just feel like Warpath is bulkier, you know, but I do feel like we do need a new Colossus. That'd be awesome if we got a maximum Colossus. I'd dig that. And here we got Warpath and Laura next to the Huntress and Apache Chief from the DC Universe Classics line. I love this Huntress figure. She is awesome. The purple, black, and white. Threw her this staff, not sure where it came from. I was thinking maybe a Gambit, but it's not. And then, of course, this guy right here, Apache Chief, is a Build-A-Figure. Get a little closer look here. Another Indian guy. And finally, if we're going to have Warpath from X-Force, we're going to have Warpath from the Transformers. Bang! Zoom! Zowie! I think that's what he said. But that's Warpath, the tank. Autobot from the Transformers. So, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Once again, blah, 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 blah. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I hope you guys like this review. Let me know how I can improve. All criticisms are welcome. I'll try not to get my feelings hurt. Let's see. Coming up, I don't know. Rosie, Brett the Hitman. Got a bunch of wrestlers on deck. I really hope that Archangel gets here. I am eager to review him and have him displayed with the rest of my X-Force. Glad to have these guys. Just some issues, some QC issues. That's about it. You know, of course, I'm not going to bitch too hard about the pins. I guess I do kind of repeat myself. But it would be nice if we could just get to the point of just always having pins. But these are reuses from the last offering of Warpath. So that's it, guys. We're going to see you on the next one. Should be soon. I think I'm going to... Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together my part 3 of my most wanted Marvel Legends. Looks like we're going S all the way down to Z with maybe a couple names thrown in there that I forgot about. Maybe 15, 16, 17 or so characters. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to bring this guy in to end it. We got the Maximum Series Hulk doing his thunderclap. He's going to pose back here with these two. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Enjoy your work week. Work hard, play hard. All right. And peace to you. Out.